somebody were to ask me the question whether there's life in the universe other than on the Earth, the answer is undoubtedly yes. But where?
On Mercury. It's scorched, wrinkled, and crater-scarred. Venus might have been Earth's twin, but it has a poisonous atmosphere, red-hot rocks, and pressures that would crush any life form to pulp. Mars, until quite recently, held out the promise of life, but now we know it's a sun-bleached, sterile world. The majestic giant Jupiter with its swirling weather systems and Saturn with its glorious rings are just balls of gas with no surfaces that life forms could live on. The outer three planets, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto, roam our solar system's remotest depths. Far from the sun's warming rays, they're just too cold for life. And so it seems that our blue planet may be the only one in the solar system to harbor life. But astronomers don't give up easily. Out beyond the worlds of our solar system are millions upon millions of stars, other suns, which might have their own planets surrounding them. And maybe life?
Well, one of the things that astronomers are very keen on these days, as you know, is are we alone? Do we have neighbors? What are the nearest neighbors to the solar system? And issues of that kind. It would certainly be quite fundamental if we make an observation which shows us the existence of our nearest neighbors.
In November 1974, a message was beamed from a radio telescope on Earth to a cluster of stars 24,000 light-years away. If any beings receive this message, they may come looking for the senders. But Earth has already had visitors from space.
December night, when the stars were just sparkling in the sky, no moon. I was returning from a trip in the mountains, and I arrived at a piece of the road where it looks to about 25 miles. And suddenly, the car just lit up, and I thought perhaps somebody had driven up behind me with their bright lights at first, and then I realized that the light had illuminated the mountains about 25 miles east of me, the direction I was going in. At that moment, I looked up through the windshield, and right up here, probably the most brilliant meteorite I've ever seen across the sky.
Close encounters of the most unusual kind have been happening ever since the Earth was born. Meteors, and more spectacular comets, regularly visit us from the depths of the solar system. They may tell us how we came to be here, and whether life may exist elsewhere in the universe. Some of these visitors come from a belt of rock and iron fragments between Mars and Jupiter. Others, the comets, lurk in the remote depths of space beyond the orbit of Pluto, unaltered remnants from our solar system's formation. Some comets get shifted from their icy perches and spend the rest of their days traveling through space on elongated orbits about the Sun. As a comet is drawn inwards towards the Sun, its icy surface vaporizes, and the gases stream away in a tail which can stretch millions of miles in length. It's a comet's trademark. The most famous comet of all is, of course, old Halley's Comet. And it's famous not only because it's big, it's bright, and it's been seen for about 2,000 years on and off, but because it comes to visitors from the outer parts of the solar system literally once in a lifetime, every 76 years. And so that means for most of us, we just get our one chance to see it. And this time round, we won't just see it, we'll hit it. A European probe, is one of 5 spacecraft bound Halleywards. It will plunge, kamikaze fashion, into Halley's head to discover at last what a comet is actually made of. The only clues we usually get on Earth are from the cast-off dust fragments of comets which plunge into our atmosphere and burn up as shooting stars. But some space debris actually makes it to the Earth's surface. This was the ignominious end of a visitor from the asteroid belt, which ended its journey by crashing into a hillside in Siberia. Although it was pristine as a comet, meteorites like this are the oldest material in the solar system we can get our hands on. This was one of the biggest ever found. So often a really big meteorite lands, and about 50,000 years ago a 1 million ton chunk of iron came hurtling out of the sky and landed smack here in the heart of the Arizona desert. It blasted a hole 500 feet deep and almost a mile across, and the impact was so severe that we think most of the meteorite itself was completely vaporized on impact. The crater is so vast you can see it from space. Unfortunately for us, impacts as big as this are pretty rare nowadays. And that's because meteorites, and indeed comets, are pretty rare as well. They're bits left over when our solar system was born a very long time ago. But when a meteorite does land, it's great news for astronomers, because if they can pick up a meteorite, they can sample some of the first material which gave birth to the Sun and planets a very, very long time ago. By analysing meteorites in microscopic detail and finding their exact age, scientists have revolutionised our ideas on how the Sun and planets were born. We used to think that the birth of the planets was a chance event. A passing star pulled a filament of gas out of the Sun, which later cooled to create the 9 worlds of our solar system. But the evidence from meteorites tells us that the planets came into being as a natural consequence of the Sun's birth. 4.5 billion years ago, deep in a spiral arm of our Milky Way galaxy, a cloud of dust and gas began to collapse under its own gravity. As the collapse continued, the cloud spun faster and faster until it formed itself into a disk. At the center, where the gas was densest and hottest, our Sun began to form. Further out, the dust particles formed the beginnings, the cores of the planets. In the outermost regions of all, the gas was cool and slow-moving, and so these young planets were able to swathe themselves in huge atmospheres. The solar system, as we know it today, was taking shape. Meanwhile, at the heart of things, the Sun was getting even denser and hotter, and one day it burst into life. Nuclear fires ignited in its core, where they still burn to this very day. That first surge of energy blew away what remained of the gas cloud. All that was left were 9 planets, and billions of tons of cosmic debris. Some of this rained down on the airless innermost planets, scarring them with craters of all shapes and sizes.